Gielinor, the magical world of RuneScape. It's divided into chunks for easy use. Welcome to Chunkman Dead Die Kill, the series where I conquer the landmass of Gielinor by doing tasks and unlocking chunks. Last episode we unlocked another 3 chunks by completing 3 quests, which got us over the 25% mark for quests finished. The quests were Druidic Ritual for unlocking Herblore, the Dig Site and Recruitment Drive. Our map expanded with the Wilderness chunk just above the Goblin Village, the middle chunk on the Karamjan Island, and the western part of Entrana. Because we unlocked that last chunk, we are going to start with the Enlightened Journey quest today. We've gotten pretty much everything we need except 1 sack of potatoes, but that's something we can get on the Entrana Island. We've gotten some dyes from Polivnich. We bought the papyrus over here in the Karamjan store. The silk was from the silk trader over here in Alcaret. And the only thing we're still missing is the willow branches, because that takes time before they regrow. So we have a tree in Varrock, but sadly we only have that one willow tree, so hopefully when we get to that part of the quest we can pick more from the tree, otherwise we will have to wait. Let's first of all fill our sack of potatoes. So over here there's some potato plants. Let's drop some things and let's pick everything. Now let's start the quest by talking to August. So August is tired of being on the island of Entrana, but he doesn't like ships. So he wants to make a hot air balloon to travel over to Taverley. For making the balloon we need to make some prototypes, so he asked for a lot of items and that's pretty much what we have in our inventories. First of all, it's going to be an origami balloon. If we use a ball of wool on the papyrus we have, and then we have a candle, and then we have the origami balloon. Let's see if that's okay for him. And we get a cutscene after seeing the origami balloon fly. That's pretty nice except for it burning down. Next up we need 2 papyrus and the sack of potatoes, and August is going to make that prototype. Another cutscene, and that seems to be flying pretty well, but these guys are pretty much destroying our balloon. And now for the model that will carry us to Taverley. And he also gave us a sapling, which is a willow sapling, and some apples to protect the sapling. So that's some free farming experience, which is pretty nice. Let's fill our sacks with the sand to make sandbags. Let's give the first part to August. And now we need 2 willow branches. I'm going to plant this sapling from August himself and Staverly, because I think if we check the achievement diary for Falador, the medium one, we need to chop and burn some willow logs in Taverley, and that's pretty much what you need to do. You need to plant a willow tree there. But I doubt we will be getting 6 more branches from the Varrock one. So we'll probably have to wait until those are grown. So our willow tree here in Varrock gave us 4 more. We have 6 in the bank, so I'm probably just going to wait a few minutes to get the last 2. Okay, a few minutes later we have all the willow branches. We need to make the basket ourselves. There we go. That's the hot air balloon completed. Now for a flying lesson. We need the 10 logs here and the tinderbox. So this is a mini game and we need to use all of these things to get to the other side and not get hit by any of the trees, any of the birds, any of the, I think these are thunderclouds. So let's just follow what the quest helper mentions. Okay, that is first map done. Now for the second part. Okay, second map done. And almost there, let's land. And there we go, we are now in Taverley. Let's talk to August to complete the quest. That's the quest completed. We get 1 quest point, 4000 fire making experience, 3000 farming experience, 2000 crafting experience, 1500 woodcutting experience, and access to the balloon transport, which is a quite niche way of transport, but it will be useful in the long run. Which grants us 51 fire making, which is another level, pretty nice. Only 6 more to go if we want to get another chunk that way. And we also get some nice fashionscape, the bomber cap and the bomber jacket. But either way, that's the quest completed, which means we get another task completed and another chunk to pick. The 39th quest, Enlightened Journey, has been completed for 125 chunks in total now. And back to the map. Last chunk was the Karamja chunk over here in the middle of the Karamjan Island. If we unlock a few more, we should be able to do a few quests over here as well, and probably also the easy diary. But let's see what the chunk picker has in store for us. Pick a chunk. Ooh. This second level of the wilderness chunks. But this is just in such a dead zone. I don't even think there's anything useful here. But okay. It's not that bad. We have a couple of other things we can do to unlock more chunks. So for example, the mini quest, the Lair of Tarn Razorlor, we could have done this quite a bit sooner because we've reached the Slayer on the latest Slayer grind. But the only thing that I wanted to do before we go there was to unlock prayer potions, because the monsters are pretty high level and your prayer gets drained quite a lot, so I didn't want to risk this. But for that we would need to train our Herblore app, of course. And the other quest is the Grim Tales quest, which was unlocked when unlocking Taverley. But for that we need quite a few levels. So if we go to Grim Tales over here, we need 52 Herblore, 59 Agility, 58 Thieving and 71 Woodcutting. For Woodcutting that's 10 levels also for Thieving, 8 levels Agility, and then of course, yeah, a lot of Herblore. But it might be a good idea to work towards this quest. But as we are only 6 levels away from getting another chunk from a total level task, it's just going to be easiest to train the Herblore skill until 25. So only 6 levels, and all the herbs here in the bank should take care of that pretty easily. And that's going to be 25 Herblore already, which means we can clean Reynard, but can you also make potions? No, we need 38 for prayer restore potions. Okay, that's another 13 levels needed. So we cleaned all the Guams, all the Marentils, all the Terramin, and we just started with the Headlanders. We still have more than 400 left. So this is actually pretty fast. So that's pretty much our total level task of 1325 total. And let's see which chunk we get for that task. Our 53rd total level task, which was a pretty fast one because we could finally train our newest skill, our lowest skill, and that brings us up to a 126 total chunk amount. The last chunk we unlocked was part of the wilderness at the east side. So if we check, we can now unlock the one above that, but that's not really a good chunk. So let's hope for a good one. Pick a chunk. Okay. Getting really close to Crash Island. Because we got another water chunk, that's another pick we get. Pick a chunk. Ooh, the Graveyard of Shadows. There's a heart clue here, I think. But that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Not that useful a chunk otherwise. As we didn't get a chunk that gave us something spectacularly good to do, we're just going to go further on with the herblore grind. We need 13 more to get to prayer potion, so hopefully all the herbs in the bank give us that many experience, but we'll see how far we get. Alright, that's the last trainer that's been cleaned. So we've cleaned everything we can clean and we reached level 28. Which is pretty nice, of course. I didn't think we'd get so far. But for now, let's start with the gum leaves. Let's make them all into attack potions. Let's stock up on vials of water and Eyes of Newt. And that's all the Guam potions, the attack potions done. We've reached 33.5, so it's actually crazy with that little herbs we got so far. So that's only 5 levels until we can do prayer potions. Next up, I think I'm going to leave Marintils as is, because we need the ground unicorn dust here, and that's quite difficult to get. I'm going to first of all make my Termins into strength potions, because that's going to be useful later on as well. We farmed a lot of them, so we're all at a nice 1500 stack. Worth over 1,000,000, damn. This is going really fast, and that's going to be 38 herblore. And we can now make prayer restore potions. So we only used like not even half the Termins we had. The herb tab is still looking quite juicy, but first of all we have 147 Reinars. Let's just make all of those into prayer potions. But first of all we need more snape grass, so that's going to be hopping around a bit on the peninsula here, next to the crafting guild. So we're going to go from this bank until here, full inventory, and then back. While running to get the snape grass, this crashed star fell down, and we've gotten a, I think it's going to be 190, maybe a little lower. And I'm not sure how many we have in the bank. No, 185. Let's go and check to get another inventory of snapegrass and then check the bank if we have enough stardust to get the ring, because I think we're pretty close. Looking at the bank, this is actually just about the 2000 we need, so that's pretty nice. Let's go and collect our ring. If we talk to the Suri here above the mining guild at the Falador Square, we should be able to trade in these stardusts. So we want a celestial ring, and this is 2000 stardust. This gives a, I think it's a +3 mining boost, but it's a passive boost, so that's pretty nice. It's going to help us later on when we have to do more mining. And for the rest, the star fragments are to recolor the prospector gear, so that's not really that useful for the account. But later on we have the bag full of gems and the soft clay pack. So if we find more shooting stars, those will be the rewards that will be chosen. Anyway, let's continue with the collection of the snapegrass. And that's all the snapegrass we're going to need. And one thing I'm going to use is the Amulet of Chemistry, so we can get extra doses of prayer potion, because those will be very important either way. And with these last few snapegrass, that's all of the Raynars into prayer potions. We've gotten 3 more levels, which is pretty nice. And we've gotten 6 extra doses because of the Amulet of Chemistry, so it's not a lot, but it's pretty nice. I think it's time now to start with the Lair of Tarn Razorlor. So when we unlock the abandoned mine chunk here, and after the quest we unlocked the dungeon behind the abandoned mine, and we need to be at the end to do the quest. So let's gear up, bring a lot of food, a lot of prayer potions, and a decent gear setup, and hopefully we can complete the quest in one single trip. And here we are back at the haunted mine. I brought a quick teleport away, some anti-poison because I think there are some poison traps in there, also a strength and an attack potion just to get it over with a little bit sooner if we reach the boss, then some prayer potions, and pretty much the best food we have because I think it's going to be pretty rough, and the equipment is just the maximally set up. So let's get in and start the mini quest. So instead of having to go through the entire dungeon here, we are just going to go to the north here, and there we go. This is already the route to the Tarn's Lair. There should be a lot of traps in here, so we might have to watch out a bit. Okay, so dodged all the traps we could. Now we need to disarm a trap. Okay, pretty nice. Ouch, that hurt. And stepped in another trap. How do we get up now? Oof. This is just painful. Oh, now the quest helper is back. Well, that cost us a few food. Not that nice. Now we're getting targeted as we jump. So it's a good thing we have some prayer pots with us. That's finally where we need to be. So it took us 4 food. It's not that bad. Let's set everything up. Let's drink our strength potion, our attack potion, and let's get in. We see cages with the terror dogs in, and here's Tarn. He's not really happy we are in here, and he summons the terror dogs and changes into a mutant as well. Let's try to kill him before the terror dogs, just leave them be. He's only level 69, but Still, we've got to watch out. Our prayer is being drained at a rapid rate here as well. So that's the first form down. Now for the second form. Now he's a ghost. Appears to be. Okay, that's the second form down. And we get 5000 Slayer experience, which gives us a level. Let's go over here where we're safe. And now we can collect Tarn's diary, which in turn opens up the cages for all the terror dogs. But that should be the mini quest completed. Here we go. The Lair of Tarn Razor Lore. So this was actually less dangerous than I thought it was going to be. It was just the way getting here with all the traps, but the quest helper was a really big help in avoiding those. Let's get back with the diary and let's use it. If we take out our Salve amulet and we use the book with it, it is now a Salve amulet enchanted. So this is going to further increase the damage we are doing on undead creatures and zombies and such. So that's pretty nice, but more importantly, that was also a mini quest completed, which means a task completed and another chunk to unlock. Our second mini quest, Lair of Tarn Razorlore, has been completed. That's now 2 out of 14 and 127 chunks in total. And then back to the map. Last chunk we unlocked was the Graveyard of Shadows, which would unlock more of the wilderness. But let's see which chunk we get by the chunk picker. Pick a chunk. Okay. The bandit camp. Now it's really getting close to the crazy archaeologist. For the bandit camp itself, I know the shop in here has increased rates if you sell items to it, but in general there's nothing really I want to do in here. So getting closer to the ruins here, that's pretty nice, but for now we'll probably just continue with some skilling to get another chunk. Unlocking another chunk will be for the next episode. We've unlocked quite a few wilderness chunks today, which weren't all that useful, so hopefully we get something interesting next time. As always, I hope to see you all next week for some more Chunkman progress.